We can broadcast for up to 8 hours.
We're live.
I know. Hi.
All right. Hey, what's up?
Everybody.
We waiting for people to come in?
I don't know.
I say you just get started. Have some good replay value.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to be talking about what?
First 3 months selling on Poshmark. And we got our good friend Steve Raiken here with us today.
What's up, everybody?
He is been helping us a great deal on a project that we have coming out. I know a lot of you guys have already heard about this project, but we got a course launching very soon. If you haven't gotten on that email list, there's a link in the description. Make sure you get on that email list, and we're actually going to be sending out a free 6-part workshop starting this Sunday, and it's going to go to all of you guys for free. It's a little Poshmark workshop. We go over a whole bunch of stuff, photography, listing, inventory, everything, anything you want to know is in that workshop. So get on that email list, and we'll send that workshop out to you for free.
So helpful. Yeah, so we want to talk about like the first 3 months of being on Poshmark, because I know a lot of you are brand new Poshmark users, or in your infancy of it. So it's been a while for me. It hasn't been a while for Jay.
No, actually, I just started Poshmark back in October of this previous year, 2017. So I've been on for what's that, 5 months right now? Something like that?
About that
time. So I've been on for about 5 months and going strong. So if you guys are having any problems with your first 3 months, or if you're new to Poshmark, drop a comment. Let us know what's going on with you, and we'll just give you a little bit about me and Karen. So
how about we ask them, if you guys have been selling for less than 3 months, put a 1 in the comments.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Let's see how many people are new to Poshmark. I'm putting a 1 for myself, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type 1 right now.
Steve is brand new to Poshmark, so
video quality's not so good. Oh, you would have won.
You know what? I'm gonna turn off my laptop to make sure I'm not stealing your Wi-Fi.
That might be it.
Okay, we're working on the video quality.
Working on the video. Oh, wow, there's a lot of ones coming in. Look
ones.
at that. So welcome to Poshmark, you guys. It's great that you're here. So we'll put some comments in there. Let us know what you want to learn about Poshmark, but we'll talk a little bit about what I struggled with at first getting onto Poshmark. So when I first got onto Poshmark, I really, had to learn my own groove. I had to figure out how to list things, how to write descriptions properly, all that. So that took some time.
What about the social media?
The social media, I was always, a little rough with social media. So that was the biggest learning curve right there. Just a little bit. I use social media, but I don't use it well. So I had to learn how to share, how to interact with people, how to interact the proper way with people, and the best way to get followers. And Karen has been such a great help to me. She taught me everything I know about Poshmark, and I learned quick. So
and you're still learning.
So how did I get followers, Karen? Why don't you touch on how to get followers real quick?
Well, first, I was telling him all about the parties. They're 4 times a day, and I said share it to the parties. And at first, you didn't have so many items in your closet. You probably had like 30 or 40
items at the max.
And he'd be like, "I'm done," and like 3 minutes go by. I'm done. And I'm like, and the party's 2 hours long.
It's a short party.
That's a short party, right?
He got in, boom, 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 he got out.
10 shots.
I'm like the Navy SEALs. I'll go right in. You won't know I'm there, and then I'm out. And you never see me. So
yeah, and I'm like, you're not done. It's 5 minutes, maybe. And so I didn't realize that he didn't understand. It wasn't just about sharing his own items, that he had to start sharing other people's items as well.
So you share your own items, and then you share other people's in this 2-hour
exactly.
party.
So you share your own items to the party first, and then after you're done, what you're going to do is go into the party showroom itself, and you're going to start sharing other people's items to your followers. Not back to the party, but you want to share it to your followers. And that's actually what's gonna get you followers on Poshmark. When you start sharing other people's items, what they're gonna do is start sharing your items back. And then they're going to see that you're a great sharer, that you share their stuff. You're trying to help them out. So they're going to click on the follow link and follow your closet. And the more followers you gather, the closer you're going to get to that goal of daily sales on Poshmark. When did you start getting daily sales on Poshmark, Ben?
I could, as far back as I can remember, I started getting mostly daily sales around 30,000 followers and active activity on the app. And I had this thing when it concerns sharing. and trying to build followers, because you want people to follow your store, your closet, that have a similar style to what you sell. Because if I'm selling a bunch of like millennial type style clothing, which I do, and I'm like sharing an older generation or someone that like likes Chicos or something that's not like really millennial related, you know, sure, I will share their stuff, but I do this thing, I share it if I'd wear it.
Right.
And if it's kind of a similar style. And now this isn't going to say if I share 100 people, 100 people are going to follow us back. No, you know, I share 100 different
items. You get like 20, 30 followers, something like that. Now, I was the exact opposite when I first started sharing. When I would get into that party, I would just start going down the list, sharing everything, sharing 1, 2, bang, bang,
Navy
bang,
SEAL
bang,
style.
bang, sharing everybody to maximize that exposure and to get as many followers as I possibly could. And I actually went pretty quick. I went from 0 to 25. I think I'm at 25,000 and change right now in 5 months. So you can really gather followers quickly. That's about 5,000 followers a month.
Now let me ask you guys, are you able to directly notice the followers increasing in your sales increasing, or do they not really go hand in hand?
They definitely go hand in hand. So when I first started, I would maybe get a sale once a month. I'm up to probably when I'm listing and when I'm max listing and doing, because listing is key too. We'll get into that in a second. But when I'm listing properly and I'm listing 5, 6 things a day, I will get maybe, right now I'm getting about 5 to 6, maybe 7 sales a week. So I'm almost at daily sales when I'm listing properly. I'm not at 30,000. So I'm close. I'm getting there. But Karen is selling multiple items per day now. And
Steve came over at a little before 11 this morning, and I said, I need to go wrap my morning sales. I shipped same day before noon. And what did I say? How much were my sales?
Yeah, was it like, yeah, it was a lot.
$170 this morning, just on the morning.
She only had 2 packages sitting, and then she's like, oh, I got to go down.
The night before, this is where activity on the app really benefits you. Yesterday, Thursday, I shared my closet in the morning. I do that with my cup of coffee. You know, it's kind of like a thoughtless thing to me. But we didn't have any activity on the app. We were doing so much work on putting this course together for you guys, and I knew that would affect my sales. And I said, forget it. I might have been a little bit more colorful about that, you know, but I was just like, forget it. It's Thursday. What comes. If nothing comes, that's cool, because we have this work to do. And I still got 2 sales. That could have just been a fluke. I wasn't listing. I didn't share.
There's somebody, the comment just scrolled by, but she's got 30,000 followers and she's getting about daily sales. So it does work.
That. But yeah, we didn't do anything, and I still had 2 sales. It could have been a fluke. It could have just been my followers, random people finding some things from me, and it had nothing to do with my activity on the app, because there was barely any activity. But then this morning, I did my daily thing, and I listed 5 items, and before he even came over, I had almost $200.
So those first 90 days, people are getting started. You really want to heavily focus on being in those parties, sharing, building up your followers. What else? And what other advice would you give to the people watching now in terms of that first 90 days? What are the really, you know, the biggest, most important things people need to be focusing on? List.
Building up your closet. If you only have like 20, 30, 40 items, the more items you have in your closet, it increases your chances for someone to find something that they want to buy. Now, you know, he started going above 40, then he got to 50, then 60, and that's when his sales started getting more steady.
There's different increments. I mean, when you get to 100 listings, you're going to start getting steady sales. When you get to 200 listings, your sales are going to explode. So it improves. So the more listings you have, the more sales you're going to get. So you want to list. And if you guys aren't sourcing yet, take a look at some videos on YouTube. We have some good videos on sourcing. Steve has some great videos on sourcing. There's sourcing videos all over the place. Learn how to source and get out there and do it. There's gold in those thrift stores, and you can find that stuff at pennies on the dollar. And you get great results.
I was going to ask you, do you find it's important to list daily, or is it okay to batch everything 1 day per week? Because I found that the eBay algorithm rewards sellers who list consistently. I didn't know if Poshmark's algorithm
does.
What we actually do, and what Karen does very well, is she'll batch all her photos, right?
I take all, it depends on how much we get, when we get them, you know. what time it is. I will take as many photos as I can, have them all on my phone, all the measurements done.
Right.
And then I sit down and I type out every single, or most of all the descriptions, and I have them in my phone / my iPad. We airdrop throughout whatever device we're on. And when I'm like, okay, next day I need to list 5 things.
So she's already got
5
it set up.
pictures, and I just copy and paste.
So you can batch, but you don't want to batch list.
There's
like
no draft.
There's
no draft on Poshmark, but you don't want to, if you have 20 items that you photographed, and that's all you have for the entire week, you're going to want to spread those 20 items out throughout the whole week.
And think about it.
Instead of just bam, 20 items.
When you do it this way, this is how we were actually able to do to work Poshmark part-time and still make a full-time income. We would batch all our photos. When Karen was working at her job, she would take all of her photos on the weekends, and then she would type up the listings, and then throughout the week during those parties she would list. And it's a great idea to list during those parties because you're going to get maximum exposure
or
when you list that
right before hour before it, especially the PM party. You have to kind of think, especially during the week, when are people home and on their phone more? You know, not during work hours, not so hopefully not, you know, but you're going to maximize when you get a new listing, and say you post a brand new pair of 7 For All Mankind jeans. Any person who has ever followed that brand, because you can follow brands on Poshmark, it's going to be in their feed whether or not they follow you, and they're going to see brand new listings from 7 For All Mankind, and there's your jeans right there. So this is also how listing gets you new followers as well. So they're like, I like those jeans, so check them out.
This is definitely something that she definitely struggled with when she first started Poshmark. And at that point, and this is why we're giving you that advice, go out, learn about sourcing, figure sourcing out, and do it. She didn't know. She was just selling her own clothes when she first started Poshmark.
There's only so much I could do.
And that happened for like, what, 2 years maybe. She would just sell her own clothes and stuff her friends would give us. We didn't source. And when we started sourcing, that's when our business exploded. That's when we started making that maximum profit. That's when we made 40 grand in a year. We started sourcing, and now we're master sourcers. We know exactly what we're looking for.
You know what's funny? They actually really are. We had a Connecticut. It's funny, you know, we had a Connecticut thrifting meetup, and literally out of like 30 people sourcing, you were top 1, 2, 3 every single time, because you were going after a specific type of item, clothing, which is very abundant. And that's one of the biggest challenges I see people making on eBay. And I'm sure it happens on Poshmark. Maybe someone's trying to focus in on a niche that's not very abundant. That's the good thing about clothing.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and you can find it anywhere. I mean, you literally, you're sitting on gold in your own closet. You're sitting on gold in your friends' closets. And then you're sourcing. So, I mean, there's so many ways to find clothing.
So those first 90 days, we talked about the parties. Okay, so you want to attend the parties. You want to go in there and you want to share
yours and theirs.
Yours and theirs. We talked about the importance of listing on a regular basis, trying to spread out your listings throughout the week to kind of hack the algorithm. What are some other important things?
And getting enough listings.
Following other people.
Building your closet up too. So I had this thing. It doesn't so work for my amount of sales I get every day, but in the beginning I had this thing. I said, okay, sell 1, list 2. That was for me to replace the item that was sold in numbers. You know, when you see and to steadily grow it. Sell 1, list 2. And I was doing that for quite some time. That meant if 2 sales happened like back to back within half an hour, I'd be listing 4 things because I had them in my phone. I had them typed out. It's easy to do that. So I was slowly growing while maintaining numbers, and I can't do that anymore. Especially on the weekend.
She's selling on the weekend. She's selling like 15 to 20 items, and she can't list 40 items. So that would take forever. So we're kind of in a little bit of a hole once in a while, but it's a great problem to have.
So let me ask you guys: first 90 days, somebody's watching, they're brand new. There's a lot of ones that
there's a lot
of new folks. First 90 days, is there a minimum profit margin that people should be focusing on? Because it's easy to go out there and buy any and everything out there, right? I mean, at one point I had over 1,000 clothing items in my store. So I know all about being able to scale a clothing business on eBay, not on Poshmark. Minimum profit margin, should they be focusing on at least a $10 profit, $20 profit? Does it matter, and why?
Go for it.
When you're sourcing, I would say to focus on things that you're going to be able to get $20 to $30 for. Don't go for those higher end things right away. They're great to have in your closet and they'll bring people to your closet, but they're going to take longer to sell. I'll find a pair of Adriana Goldschmidt jeans and then I'll find a pair of an American Eagle jeans. American Eagle jeans are going to sell for around $25. And they're going to sell quick though. They're going to sell quick. So mall brands are great to source for. You can find them pretty much anywhere. American Eagle, Hollister, Abercrombie.
Those are quick flips for not like crazy amounts of money.
You're not going to pay a lot for them either. A lot of these thrift stores are raising their prices now, and they know what they have. They know that people like us are out there doing that, and most of their business is coming from resellers. So they're starting to charge a premium for that. So if you're going in looking for American Eagle and Abercrombie, which is going to be probably $6, $7 as opposed to a pair of Adriana Goldschmidt or 7 for All Mankind, which could run you upwards of $12, $13, you're going to make better profit and you're going to make more money. So focus on those mall brands and smaller and lower profitable items, and you'll start to see steady sales, and that'll actually get you quicker sales.
Yeah, you need to build that closet up, and so you do need to source and make. Another very common mistake I do see with new Poshmark users is you guys price too low to get a decent amount of profit. Especially you have to take into consideration Poshmark takes 20%. 80% looks kind of nice until you see like they just took $6 from me. That's pretty big, especially if you are going the route of quantity over quality and you're trying to get maybe 20 American Eagle jeans instead of 6 or 7 high-end denim. You're going quantity over quality, because I get that you do need a great mix in your closet. And so if you're doing that, you have to take into consideration that 20% is a lot when you're selling a pair of jeans for $18.
Steve, let's put you on the spot real quick. You have learned a ton from us about Poshmark in the past couple of weeks. What could you give somebody advice as somebody who's brand new to Poshmark? I mean, what do you think is good advice from you?
The biggest thing, because I come from like an eBay and Amazon background. Obviously, clothing is eBay. You can't really sell unless it's new with tags on Amazon. But one thing that I learned from these guys is, for some reason or another, Poshmark has a higher perceived value with clothing. Okay, I don't know if it's the social media aspect of it all, or it's more of kind of like a community. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you could dive into that, but I've realized that I need to start getting my clothing cross promoted onto Poshmark, because it's a different channel. You're going to get different viewers. It's kind of like this collaboration. Like, we're doing a video on the Thrifty Flamingo. We're also doing it on Raiken Profit after this. And there's some people who are going to be hanging out Raiken Profit. Some people are going to be hanging out the Thrifty Flamingo. Some people are going to be on eBay. Some people are going to be on Poshmark. So by going on to Poshmark, you're opening up your horizons to new customers, and you can increase your sales easily just by cross promoting. I was watching you do it. It was so fast.
Double exposure. And the reason that you do get more value on Poshmark is Poshmark started as a designer reselling site. You see, a lot of people started selling high-end designer fashion on Poshmark. So you're going to get top dollar for that to begin with. And it's the perceived value, just like you touched on. The perceived value on Poshmark, it's an app that's strictly for selling clothing. Most of the people that are on Poshmark know the value, and they're going to overvalue their product, and that's great.
You're still going to get low ballers.
You're going to get low ballers, exactly. Yeah. So it's all about what other people are doing and social media aspect of the app that's actually driving those prices to go up. So
you also need to show that you believe your item is X amount of money. When people undervalue their items and say they are selling American Eagle skinny jeans, and they could easily price them at $18 to $25 to start with offers submitted, but then they're saying, hey, $12, $10. The first thing that's going to go through people's head is, what's wrong with them? Why are they so cheap? I get that it's a mall brand. I get that it's American Eagle. But then there's some people are going to go, oh, that's good, because they're like really penny pinching. But a lot of people are going to be second guessing and then looking at the other jeans that are priced $18 to $25 and going, nope, let's send in an offer for $10. It kind of like messes up the market. Don't undervalue your own item. Know what you have and be like proud of that, know what you have.
Yeah, I was saying to, if it's a little choppy, we apologize, because I'm watching it on my phone. It looks like it's a little choppy. I'm not sure if it is or not. I turned off my Wi-Fi, but let us know in the comments, guys. If it's coming through smooth or not. It looks good on our end, but I've noticed that Google Hangouts will lie to you. It's what actually on the other
Google,
end the
you're
user
a
is
liar.
experiencing.
So we apologize if the video is a little choppy or something like that. We're working to fix that.
Hopefully it will.
Yeah. The other thing,
call up the internet guy.
The other thing I wanted to touch on with pricing as far as Poshmark and eBay goes, and this is going to be an eBay response there. And what I've noticed on eBay, and probably one of the big reasons why prices are going down on eBay and why you get less, is because a lot of people are taking those clothing items that they have and starting those auctions at a penny. They're not valuing their items.
That's the worst thing you can do on eBay.
And I see that so much on eBay. People starting an auction at a penny, hoping there's going to be a bidding war.
On eBay.
Nobody's going to bid back and forth on clothing on eBay. It just doesn't happen.
Unless it's like
a Louis Vuitton
or like a Ralph Lauren Big Bear or 1992 Stadium.
Something that can't have some value.
Something very like awesome. Something very rare.
A regular pair of mass-produced jeans and you put them at a penny, you're going to get $5.99 for them. And that actually makes other people undervalue their clothing as well because they want to sell it and they want to get a sale. So
I just sold Prada shoes. They were an odd size. They were 6.5 on eBay. Now, I did put them at auction. I don't do a lot of auctions. I put them at auction because I said, hey, they are an odd size, but they are also Prada. I didn't start anywhere towards a penny. I started at the lowest I would take for that off chance that one bidder came in and bid the one. That's all I would get. I didn't start anywhere near a penny. What did I make? Like $59? $59,
$60 on
I said, shoes. That's the lowest I will take for this, because then there's a chance that maybe two people might take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make 65.
So
maybe we'll go into a bidding war.
That's always what we do with our eBay auctions, whether it's hard goods or clothing or anything. We set our price at what we're comfortable making.
It's killing the market.
And then hopefully we'll get more. But if we don't get more, hey, who cares? That's what we thought we were going to get paid anyway, so we're making that money. We
really like to have hard goods on eBay. We sell a lot of video games and stuff. We still do sell clothes on eBay, but that's kind of like our last resort, and for men's
and for men's stuff, because men's actually does a little better right now. Poshmark is coming up on men's. They're starting to grow. The men are starting to flock to the app. But they're not as serious there as they are on eBay. So we'll always cross post men's stuff.
My friend was telling me that because he didn't know what Poshmark was until I started promoting the free workshop that you guys are putting on. And he's like, you know what? Now that I know Poshmark, I've been seeing commercials on TV. Yeah. So they're scaling.
They are scaling their operations. They're doing a great job with that. Right.
At first, they were part of a USPS commercial, and there was a bunch of different brands, that paid them to be in the commercial. And you saw Poshmark go across the screen on a truck. Now they have their very own commercial talking about, I just bought this on the app, and they're really aiming towards buyers in most of the commercials. I did see one of them aim at, hey, I just sold this on Poshmark and got this, because it takes both on the app. You need to have your buyers, you need to have your sellers, and then there's people like me who are kind of both.
There's a lot.
I like to shop still.
There's a lot of strategy involved in listing on eBay and Poshmark. The strategy is key. Learning that strategy, figuring out how to price your items, knowing how to do comps. There's a lot involved with making a proper listing. That's stuff that you guys are just going to have to learn
and about. Knowing sometimes when a comp is a bunch of BS, because sometimes people do undervalue their stuff and it will sell for something stupid, and crying, hey, that's BS. I know it's worth at least this, and kind of sticking up for yourself. Being like, this is what I'm pricing it at. And always know your lowest.
But we have various strategies implemented into our day-to-day. I mean, like one key strategy was starting those auctions. It's something that we're comfortable taking profit on. Others are cross-posting is a great strategy to double your exposure, maximize your exposure, build a bigger audience. Doing the comps. Now, comps are something you guys should all be doing. You got to know how to do a comp.
Does everybody here know how to do a comp?
Yeah, drop a 1 in the comments if you guys have done a comp before or know how to do a comp on Poshmark.
Why don't you share with them? Because on eBay, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Listings. How do you go through? And maybe this will be the last tip before we kind of recap it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of information for the first 90 days here.
Let's do it. So you're going to actually search the item in your search bar. You can find the search bar in your feed. You can find the search bar in your shop tab. There's 2 places you can search. They want you to find clothes. So you search the actual item. And then you're going to turn off your filters, turn off your size preferences completely. And then you're going to scroll to where it says available. It's either in your very first tab, they have all your preferences, or you can find available and sold all the way to the right. I prefer the first tab because it's right there. And then you pull down the menu and it's automatically on active listings because they are thinking that you're trying to buy this item, not price this item. And then you're going to click sold listings.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to populate whatever you search, the item that you have, and it's going to populate everything that's sold. You could, if you feel like it, put a specific size in there. I find it doesn't make a difference.
No.
If I have a size 6 whatever, and someone sold a size 2 and a size 10, they're all going for about the same price.
I mean, some items will get a little less value if they're an odd size, like shoes. Some designer shoes will get, if you have a size 5 shoe and there's not a lot of size 5s out there, you're going to have to take a little bit of a price cut on that item because it's not going to sell as well as a size 8, 9, or 10.
That could happen with shoes, especially. I see that some people do cross post, and I do get nervous with cross posting certain things because it's like I'm afraid of it selling on one platform and then not selling. You have to be on your game.
There's no software right now that we know of, and if somebody knows there's software out there, let us know. But as far as we know, there's no software that we can actually use to cross list and to end an item on one site once it sells on another.
Like automated that part.
We're hoping that Poshmark integrates something like that in the future because that would be a great tool to have, and hopefully that'll come down the pipeline. But as of now, you have to do everything manually.
Always have your phone. If you say, congratulations, it's sold wherever, automatically go, like pretty much drop what you're doing, go delete. I know some people, if they sell something on eBay, what they'll do is they'll go onto their Poshmark listing and make it not for sale instead of having the price and then kind of putting sold in the title. And because most people have some kind of return policy on eBay, like the 30 days. So a lot of people don't delete. They'll just mark it not for sale should they get that return to them, and then they can reactivate the Poshmark listing. I understand that completely. I don't do it. The reason why I don't do it is for those 30 days where it's kind of in the eBay person's hands. Maybe they'll send it back, maybe they won't. You're not sharing that sold item. You're not getting any new likers on that new item, and relisting at that point should happen so you get fresh eyes on that item. Yeah. All right, so personally, I don't do it.
Let's recap real quick what we talked about today. So the first tip to selling great in the first 3 months would be to get to those parties, share as much as you can, share other people's stuff, share all that. It's going to get you followers. List as much as you can. Batch out your photographs, write your descriptions in advance, and then list throughout the week. So you're listing something every single day, and you have those fresh listings in your closet.
Try to do at least 3 a day.
Right.
5 really is the sweet spot, but at least 3 a day.
Learn the strategies to selling on Poshmark, and if you're doing eBay, the same with eBay. Know how to start and how to do comps, know how to price, and know how to get those items at the maximum value so you're making the most money that you can on those items. And I mean, that's pretty much it. That's
and keep plugging away Keep sharing to the parties. Keep sharing other people's stuff. Follow people. You need to follow people.
Follow back, right? Follow back anyone that follows you, because the more followers you have, the more chances you're going to get another follower.
Exactly. If I see a new follower following me, someone that has not even like 100, followers, and I'll follow them back. They're brand new.
Yep, that's another way to get followers. You follow other people, even if they're not following you.
If somebody followed me or shared a bunch of my items, I will check their closet. If they have a good share ratio to user ratio, to following ratio, I will follow them back. I don't like Poshmark users that say they're following 60,000 people, but they have 300K followers and they have like 20K in shares. Like, that's greedy. Like, the numbers are too far off. I like someone that is very active, that pretty much follows and back and forth, somewhat even.
Right.
It's fair. And it shows that if I start sharing all your stuff, that maybe you'll get back at me someday too and help me out.
All right, so why don't we jump into the comments real quick, see what you guys have to say. If you have any questions, any comments that you want us to address, just feel free to type them in, and we'll get to those questions real quick. So is that Melanie there? Hi, Melanie, how you doing?
Hi. I need help with checking comps for retail arbitrage items, older stuff, true resale. I have problems with that too. If it's really old, it's hard to find an active listing on it, or sometimes people just put 0. Even on other sites, I mean, I'll Google stuff, because on Poshmark, you could put what it sold for originally, the retail, and then you put your price. When you do that, it goes towards your percentage in your statistics. It says this person offers about 72% off retail price. If you just put a 0 there and then your price, that listing doesn't go towards that percentage.
Right.
I mean, it's more internal stuff, but I like to see how good of a deal people are getting. I do have problems doing the same thing. Sometimes it's hard if it's really old.
See, Melanie's talking about the Hunter for Target brand. We have found, and that's something
that just happened.
We found that Target brands tend to sell for a lot less than they should. So it's not really a good investment to go into Target and buy those Hunter boots and sell them on Poshmark.
They sold really quick. They had like wallets and like all this stuff made out of that same material and lanyards. Like, I don't want to buy a lanyard to hang around my neck. I don't care if it's Hunter, you know, but people went and they bought it all out. You have to really think. Is the profit there? If I'm spending like $45 on something,
there's a good
can
question.
I really sell it for $100? Is it really going to be worth it? Because people do know it came from Target, and they know that, hey, it's sold out. There is some kind of market and like this urgency for those type of collaborations. But when every other person that went to Target and sold them out, they all have the same item. It's like oversaturation right away. Everyone's trying to sell the same Hunter item for $100 when they bought it at $50. You know, are you really going to flip it? Maybe. Is the profit there? Who knows? I don't get in on those fads unless I bought it for myself.
So here's one for you right here. She says, is that Elise?
I can't sell jeans worth my life. Oh.
She's the jean queen. She'll be able to help you real good with it.
I have all the great sellers, but crickets. My comps are good. Okay, so you need to start doing target following. First of all, if those jeans have been sitting there for a while, like they have been sitting there all winter since like August, you listed them, relist them. Either get your main photos that you've had already. Some people keep their Poshmark photos in like a Google Drive or in a Dropbox and kind of keep them separate. Or you can screenshot your own photos from the listing and relist it. Copy and paste your listing into the description. Copy and paste your title, and then take a picture of the internal stuff like the size.
Is that like hacking the algorithm?
Yeah, and then you delete it. And then you repost it. Remember what I said about reposting? It gets in front of new people's eyes.
eBay does it because it'll push. It'll say, okay, this listing hasn't converted.
It's brand new.
Let's push it down and let's suppress it and not show it to anybody.
Exactly. So it's kind of like it gets stale after a while. And no matter how much you share it, you can share it and sure people can see it. But apparently that's not the issue. She's had them and they're not selling. Relist the old ones and then target follow. Go and search. Say you have Paige jeans and they're at Paige Hidden Hills. Go search that exact same brand, the exact size, and do a comp on the very specific size. And then you're going to follow every single person that has liked a sold listing of the exact same jeans. Why? You know it's their size or they would never have liked the sold listing. Other reason, they might have been the one that bought it and maybe they're in the market for a new pair. Or maybe it was bought out from underneath them and they always wanted that pair. So do a lot of target following. That's how I move my jeans.
Advice. All right. So Stephanie asked, can you make sales without doing all the sharing and following and all that on Poshmark?
I'm interested in hearing the answer to that.
I would say you're going to have a tough time making sales if you're not sharing, if you're not following.
Even if it's a hot item, priced correctly, great photos, awesome keywords in the title.
Anything hot's going to sell. But I mean, we're talking about selling average, run-of-the-mill items. You really need to get your product out there. If you share other people's stuff, they're going to share your stuff. So it's like a sharing snowball.
I know some people don't like that idea. They don't like having to self-promote or the time constraints.
If it's not working for you, if you don't like doing that, look into some of those programs that do auto sharing for you. There are programs out there that will auto share your items through we don't use them.
Not against the policies.
It's not against policies.
Through the policies multiple times, and it's like it doesn't. I think they wrote the Poshmark bylaws long before there were auto share programs like that, but it doesn't matter. It's not in there. It's not against the law as of now, as of today. But yeah, I get the sharing part people don't like.
Yeah.
If it is a hot item though, like I posted Lululemon shorts the other day, hottie hot shorts, and some Lululemon sits a little longer. This thing had like almost 30 likes in like hours. It sold within 24 hours. I've never seen it for me even like that. That was like in fuego. Like it was just so hot. Like all I had to put was Lululemon hottie. Obviously I put like the color and stuff like that, but it sold. I don't even think I shared. When you list, it automatically shares. That was it. I didn't share it after that because it's already sold by the time I went to more sharing, you know. But you do need to like share your items definitely to maximize the exposure for it.
So she, who's her name there?
I can't see what you're posting. Destry?
Destry, yeah.
If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize.
What are you confused about? I noticed you said this is very confusing. We want to make sure everything is clear to you. So what exactly are you confused on?
How to share an item and who do you share it to? Okay. To share an item, there's multiple ways to share an item. So you can either long press it if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, and a sub menu will pop up and it will say share. You hit it. It kind of looks like the recycle sign without 3 arrows. There's 2 going in a little circle. So that, like recycle. And so you could do that. Or you find the share, same little 2 arrows going in a circle.
Oh, Destiny, you're never too old to learn this.
Right below the picture. It'll say comment, like, share. And you would share. Or you can open up the listing to see more details, and the same comment, like, share is underneath the photo. Or in the top right, you can click the menu. They have like so many ways that you just are looking for the word share.
Yep.
And those 2 arrows going in a circle. And then it will pop up a sub menu for you to share to your followers or share to a party.
Please tell me in your upcoming course you have this information in
Yes,
there.
we do.
Yeah, we have all this.
Do you have like a screen share?
I show you how to share.
We have we make it so simple for you. We go through our screen shares. We're going to show you how to share. There's different ways to share. We're going to go through them all for you. We're going to go through how to take photographs. We're going to go through how to ship your item. We're going to go through how to source. Everything is in that course. It's a comprehensive guide to Poshmark, and you get everything in one easy to follow section spot. All videos, everything like that.
So Lisa says if you're on your phone, use the web browser like Poshmark.com to share, that it's faster. This is fine. I've done that as well. I personally like on my phone, I don't long press. I edit next list. I hope if anybody doesn't know what that is, by editing your listing in the top right corner, you hit the same thing, and then it says next, brings you into the next screen, and then list. Every single time you list anything, even if it's an edited item, it automatically shares.
And
so when I'm sharing from my phone, I just go tap, 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 tap. Like it's almost like I don't need to look at it, because sometimes with long pressing, I'll open it instead of long press. You know, like your pressure is a little off or something like that.
The other beneficial thing to that is if there's a party going on, your item will automatically share to that party if it's party specific.
Yeah.
And at the nighttime party at 10 o'clock or wherever you are, if you're on the West Coast, 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock Central, that's going to automatically share everything to your party. So all you got to do is edit next list, and everything will go to the party.
Edit next list. Yeah. I didn't know it was called edit next list. I was like, edit next tap, tap. Because then you have to back out of the listing. So it's like edit next list, back out. So it's like edit next tap, tap.
All right, guys. We're probably going to take a few more questions and wrap it up because we are going a little long here. So if we didn't get to your comment, we apologize. If you want to type it in the comments,
we'll be on my channel next, so they can.
Yes, you guys can always spill on over to Steve Raiken's channel.
Nicole's mom is 50 and has Poshmark. Go,
Mama! Steve's mom sells on Amazon FBA, and that's even more complicated than Poshmark.
63 years old, making a full-time income.
If she can learn FBA, you can learn Poshmark.
She has this cute Instagram always holding up like these books. She's like, look, they're like $200. And it's like, there's like 3 books, and she's just sitting there like, I found 3 books. It's the cutest thing. Your mom's so cute.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome, but.
All right, so we'll take 2 more questions. Whoever can get those questions in quick enough, we'll answer them for you.
Oh, there was a good question that came in earlier. Somebody was asking, how do I acquire really good inventory when I live far away from a thrift store? Should I do wholesale? So do they just have to drive out and batch source, or?
We would recommend garage sales, yard sales, tag sales, whatever you call them. They're going to be all over the place in your area. If you're in a good climate area, you have them year round. If you're not in the best climate area, spring, summer, you're going to be able to source for. So check out garage and tag sales.
Or you can
flea markets. Yeah, schedule a trip to a thrift store once a week because you're going to find good stuff.
That's going to be the best place to go.
All-day trip. Spend like 5-6 hours at the thrift store. I know that sounds like a lot, but bring some cash with you or multiple. Exactly.
If you have to drive 4 hours, 3 hours. I know that's a lot. It's like us driving up to Boston.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've done it to go to the bins near Boston.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you'll go up there and you don't just go up there in and out. You go up there and you make do with your whole day and get as much as you can.
There's
now, wholesale.
Wholesale
is some people's avenue. They do like to go that
Right.
route. It's not for everybody to go into wholesale. With
That's
Poshmark,
definitely an advanced technique.
it also takes more money on your part as an investment than a thrift store. At a thrift store, you can spend $100 and get a lot of product. Wholesale, you spend $100, you might get 2 different styles of something. Yeah, you get multiples of each one, but you make like 2 listings, maybe 3, unless you're dealing with jewelry or accessories. When it concerns clothing, wholesale takes a lot more money to get started on, a lot more bankroll. So unless you have the bankroll, you know, wholesale might not be the way to go. You just need to get a little bit more creative. You can also, tip of the day, check out your Facebook marketplace. Some people just liquidate their clothing. They're like, hey, I have a bunch of clothes. Come and take it.
Right.
You know, and this you don't have to drive to like a thrift store, you know, like they might even say, hey, 3 garbage bags of clothes for $20. Take it. You know, if you're having a hard time and you don't live near any like thrift store like that, like get creative, check Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Definitely. I just find that time-consuming. Posh would be great if they got rid of the sharing and following. They're never going to get rid of the sharing and following.
It's a
Poshmark
social media network.
Social media.
Yeah, social media.
And it's aimed a lot at millennials. I was at Posh Fest. I know it's aimed at millennials, people that like social media. They like sharing. They like promoting their stuff. They like interacting with people. Yeah. You ever notice that your Poshmark closet is at whatever?
Just like Twitter.
Other apps have
Instagram.
that. Instagram. Twitter. They could have easily just had your closet name be your closet name. No, they have you tag everybody.
See, we find it, I enjoy the sharing. We sit down in the front of the TV at night. We have something playing in the background. We just share our stuff, share other people's stuff.
We'll talk to each other, watch a clip on TV.
It's second nature.
Question, because I run multiple businesses, and I've got about 5 VAs that I work with in all parts of the world. Could you hire a virtual assistant to do what you do?
Definitely.
Could you easily create a couple training videos, put it in a secret Facebook group, move your virtual assistant in there and teach them how to do it and log in?
If all they're doing is sharing, and you can even have them list.
Yeah.
You know, of course they can.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing with having a virtual assistant is you can't have like administrators on Poshmark. You would have to have them log into your account. Yeah. So the only thing you have to make sure is that you've withdrawn all your funds.
Right.
You know, because you have to also really trust this person, because like it's not like PayPal and eBay where PayPal is separate. It would be like as if you logged into eBay and you saw your money.
And so you could go in and move your money to a bank account?
Yes.
Oh, that's scary.
Directly.
Yeah, with
so
a VA.
if you have a VA, just make sure you withdraw.
Make sure you vet them and you trust them and you know who you're using.
Or withdraw your redeemable
But I mean,
balance.
we don't look at it as a chore, and it's not going to be for everyone. Poshmark is not for everyone, but we love the fact that we sell on eBay. And we have things like listed on eBay, and eBay is automatic. You just set it and forget it. Poshmark takes up a little bit of time, but all you got to do is put that time in, and you're going to get double exposure. You're going to get premium profit, and you're going to make a ton of money.
I've met amazing friends. I know some people in this chat right now that I have met in real life. Amazing people. And guess how many people I've met off of eBay? What?
Hey.
I didn't meet you because of eBay, though, right?
We met because of YouTube.
Exactly. So
that's it. I mean, it's not for everyone, but it's a great app to use. So we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. If you enjoyed this today, make sure you give us a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Just hit that thumbs up button, and down below you get that link to our email list. Get on that list. Our workshop is coming out this Sunday. And it's completely free.
A day.
6 days in a row, you're going to get emails to parts of the workshop, which is cool. So I'm excited for everybody.
Yeah. One more thing before we leave, we are actually going to go live again tonight at 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing a live haul again like we did last Friday, between 8 and 9 o'clock, depending on when we get home and from what we're doing.
Because Maggie McFly sounds really good right now.
Yeah, Maggie McFly does sound good, right? So we're going to go live at some point tonight, show you guys what we got throughout the week and what we maybe even go over a few of our sales. So if you want to tune into that.
And we'll be on my channel.
We'll be on your channel shortly, right? So come on over to Raiken Profit. If you don't follow Steve Raiken, RaikenProfit.com, Raiken Profit on YouTube. Jump over there, subscribe to him, and take a look at us on his channel. All right, you guys, you have a great day. It was a pleasure hanging out with y'all.
Bye, guys.
Peace.